in number 14, we're supposed to use the same directions as above. The directions above says, use the factor theorem to determine whether g of x is a factored form of f of x and explain your reasoning. So, we kind of did this problem already, similarly. So what I'm going to do is, I know that x minus 3 equals 0. And if I add 3 to both sides, I get x equals 3. Well, what can I do with this x equals 3? I can put it into the original function. I will put that in purple. So here is my original function in purple there. I'm just going to do a substitution. So f of 3 equals 3 to the 4th plus 3 times 3 to the 3rd minus 15 to 3 squared minus 19 times 3 plus 30. So basically take my 3, put it in here. And then I get 3 to the 4th power, which is 9 times 9, which is 81. This is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27, times 3 is 81. Remember, using order of operations, I'm going to do 3 squared, which is 9. 9 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 3 is... we're doing 9. 9 times, so negative 135. This one's going to be a negative 57 plus 30. And then I'm just going to put all those numbers into my calculator. Hopefully I was correct. Double check me. And I get 0. Okay, what does that mean? X minus 3 is a factor. Or you could just put a big old check mark, because that's what I like to do. Okay, then I'm going to do the next thing with x plus 5. That means I'm going to substitute into my equation x equals negative 5. So if I put that into my equation, the one in purple from above, so every x value I'm putting in negative 5. Ran out of space. Okay. Here, did you guys notice I put every x value, every time I'm replacing the x, it's with parentheses. Very important, because if you're using your calculator, I'm going to put even in parentheses in the calculator. The reason why is, watch this, the correct answer for the problem is 625. But look what happens if you don't use parentheses. So this is wrong. You get a negative answer. So the question is the calculator wrong? The answer is no. The person who inputted it is wrong. This is how your calculator reads the problem if you don't use parentheses. It reads it as, using PEMDAS, 5 to the 4th power is 625, then they multiply by negative 1. That's how they get negative 625. So this is wrong. Our correct answer is 625. I'm missing a power of 3 there. So negative 5 to the 3rd power, negative 125, negative 125 times 3, negative 375. 25 times negative 15, negative 375, negative 19 times negative 5, that gives me 95, and 30. And if I add all of those numbers together, 625 minus 375 minus 375 plus 95 plus 30 gives me, oh no, I didn't get that right. Oh, that's why. What happened? 395 plus, and the answer was negative 300. So class, if it's if I have a remainder of negative 300, what does that mean? X plus 5 is not a factor. What does that mean? Basically means if you do the other two, even though they might be check marks, is g of x the factor form? So the final answer is g of x is not the factored form of f of x.